You're gonna keep going, aren't you? For what? Treasure?
Hang on, I got you! Admit it. You love all this as much as I do. Ever a dull moment, huh, Sully?
Why change now?
Yalla! Hold this! Oh, crap! Big wave! Big wave! No, 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 no!
My name is Your Worst Enemy, and this is my journalistic review for Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception for the PlayStation 3. When Uncharted 2 came out, it seemed like there was no end to the praise it was getting. Many reviewers called it the game of this console generation, hailing it for its fantastic story, characters, and set pieces. It was so new, so cool, so much improved over Uncharted 1 that people pretty much turned a blind eye to the issues the game had. Unfortunately, Uncharted 3 does exactly what I feared. Loves itself far too much, and doesn't realize it wasn't perfect the last time around. Nathan Drake is a perfect example of your regular patriotic American. Thin, headstrong, obsessed with money, with a hairdo that can survive tsunamis, deserts, RPGs, tanks, wild yetis, and even 3 months in a Turkish prison.
Dear God.
Oh, no, it's not that bad. Look, I have my own bucket.
And yet he also has a strange knack for killing as many goddamn foreigners as possible. In Uncharted 1, he was gunning down crazy black and Somalian people like a KKK member on crack. In Uncharted 2, he set his eyes on a whole bunch of communist assholes, saving the world from a life full of vodka and bad music, even killing some Tibetans by accident on the way, and petting some cows. Now, in Uncharted 3, Drake has targeted England for his latest rampage, with a lady who looks suspiciously like that old bitch from the James Bond movies trying her best to defeat the lousy American Drake and his buddies, possibly to destroy our fair nation with scalding hot tea and crumpets. The story in Uncharted 3 is just as ridiculous as the story of the last game, except while the second game had a story that was nearly flawless, this one has more plot holes than a slice of Swiss cheese. Where did the spiders come from? Why the hell did pirates get involved simply so they could send Drake on a deadly cruise ship ride? Why the hell does every bad guy in the game look exactly the same? Why didn't Drake look inside the supply crates when he crashed the plane so that he could possibly, not die of dehydration in the desert? Why is Drake so obsessed with finding this treasure, and why is the story almost exactly like the second game's? Going through, I had so many experiences of deja vu from Uncharted 2 to 3 that it was starting to annoy me. There's the typical murderous bad guys and the villain who threatens to kill someone close to Drake. There's an ancient artifact that will destroy the world. There's a lost city. There's a desperate romp through a harsh environment near death. There's a character getting shot. There's Elena, whatever the hell her name is, Drake's bitch, suddenly meeting up with you in the middle of the game. There's a character who gives up in the middle of Drake's mission saying it's too risky. And in the end, Drake leaves with nothing but a blown up city and the exact same girlfriend as before in the exact same position as before. I'm not saying the story wasn't good, it just wasn't new. And it's pretty obvious that Naughty Dog put the set pieces before the story this time because they never actually give a good explanation as to why you're in these certain areas at times. But my oh my are they pretty set pieces. The graphics in this game are non-stop beauty, the best looking on a console without a single doubt. The sand, the water, everything is done flawlessly. It's like an 8-hour long movie through and through. I couldn't stop being amazed by just how good everything looked in this game. I mean, even the chateau, this crumbly old place, actually looked like it had been lived in and was being taken over by nature. how the forests look, everything. It's just amazing how Naughty Dog has pushed this all onto the PlayStation 3 system. And I can't say anything else about it except wow. Like, you guys know what you're doing and you know the technology very well. If you felt that the combat in Uncharted 2 was a bit rusty, that feeling does continue in Drake's Deception. The aiming is extremely inaccurate, with headshots seemingly not landing at times and then landing at others without you even realizing it. Sometimes I'll be shooting a guy in the body and then he'll just tumble down and I'll realize I did shoot him in the face, but I don't know how, while at other times I'll be pulling out my pistol and shoot directly at a guy's head, but have it register him getting hit in the shoulder or something, and all of a sudden I'm alerted and all the enemies are alerted and I'm basically fucked. The hand-to-hand combat is only really necessary in 3 small portions of the game, and really, you don't really need to use it. And Naughty Dog was talking a lot about how the hand-to-hand combat was improved, when it's really just the same mini-game from the last game, with you tapping the triangle button whenever it looks like the enemy's about to hit you. And then, this time, however, they've added an option to tap the circle button as well. The game relies, possibly the most annoying part of the game, relies on the same spawning issues with enemies who jack off in a corner for a bit before finally deciding to pop out behind you going ooga booga booga before shooting you in the head without you even knowing where the hell they came from. There was also a change in the combat right near the end that, if you played it, you know what I'm talking about, and like the zombies and yetis in the last 2 games, feels very cheap and unnecessary. All in all, it just feels like Naughty Dog needs to change up their style, because what they're doing has been done in their last 2 games and it's getting really, really old. Lastly, there's the multiplayer. Something that Naughty Dog has taken quite an interest to this time around, possibly because there was such good reception for the multiplayer in Uncharted 2. And I must say, the multiplayer is pretty well balanced and fun, and it offers a lot of options. It offers perks and loadouts, and the game types like capture the treasure, and just the team deathmatch is just as fun. And there's set pieces like fighting on a train while it's moving through a tunnel, or fighting on an airplane while it's about to take off. And I have to say, it's pretty cool. It's unfortunate that Naughty Dog kind of focused more on the multiplayer than they did on the single player, because if they put as much time into the multiplayer as they did on the single player, I think this game would have been flawless. And unfortunately, it's not a multiplayer that I personally would play a lot, because it follows the same rusty shooting mechanics of the single-player campaign. Uncharted 3 is a victim of its own ambition. If you loved Uncharted 2, then yes, you will love this game, much like I did. But the issues that the second game had, that you probably didn't even notice then during the second game, now stick out like Waldo in an empty field full of cows. The story and the single player as a whole has taken a backseat to the multiplayer this time around, with characters that appear and disappear without explanation, and plot holes that aren't explained properly or just aren't explained at all. My point is, yes, I like Uncharted 3, and it's one of my highlights of this year playing it. I thought it was really fun, even though it was kind of short. But it's not the best game of the year. It's not as polished as other games like Deus Ex or Skyrim, or I don't know, I played so many games this year. I even like Dead Space 2 a lot more than I liked Uncharted 3. But yes, it is good, and if you own a PlayStation 3, I definitely recommend picking this game up. Uncharted 3 gets a very good 90 out of 100.